Good morning, everyone. So it's just gone past 10 past 9 here in the Sablone local time. That's just after 800 UTC, and another update, plenty happening for the finish. But first of all, we'll have a look here at Tapio, and he's now in the clear. This blower's gone away. You may have seen the report about the trimaran that had some trouble. They burst a hull, one of the hull, and that flooded, and then I think it capsized. It was in an area over here, just to the west of Tapio, but it was a good ending. And there were two other boats there from the long route, including Francis, our mate that came to help Loic. He was on standby as well. They diverted a couple of ships, and I think he got onto the yacht, and then they transferred him from the yacht onto the ship, so that was a good ending. Anyway, Tapio's now still not going fast, but he's still got a big sea. The sea's running at about 6 to 7 metres still, and that would be dictating a few things. He's trying to head down on course, down to a southeasterly direction, and making to the Horn. He's currently about 1,200 miles still from Cape Horn, and the weather generally, if we skip forward, there's no big surprises for him. Even over the next few days, he'll miss this one. There's a big one coming underneath him. That'll just give him, classic Southern Ocean weather. He'll get 35, 45 knots from the west, so that'll boot him along a bit, but he certainly won't get down. This is on the 26th, so it's 2 days from now. And then if we come forward again, you see it levels out the typical Southern Ocean stuff, and no big storms. He's certainly been coping pretty well with the last line. This is through to the 29th. So right through, if we, the area going to the Horn, that's all nice sailing, right through 31st. By then he'll be in this area here. He should be. So again, no storms, just solid Southern Ocean stuff, and then it clears out again. So this is the 2nd, so that's 8 days away. The forecast can change obviously before then, but that should put him somewhere down here getting close. So Tapio's looking pretty good for now. And let's just see what's going on here. Istvan must be very happy today because there's a couple of good things happening. I don't know whether he knows it yet because I'm not sure what forecasting he's getting. He's getting fixed frequency on his HF radio because it's still not working properly. He can't change frequency, and I think he gets weak signals, but he picks up a bit of it. So right now he's only doing 2.6 knots. There's a bit of a hole there. I'll just boost that up so you can see a bit better. But the wind, and it's headwinds as well, so he's got light headwinds and so on. But he's in for some good news, because if we come forward one day, it's light winds, okay, so he's not going to go anywhere in a hurry, but at least it's pleasant. And then if we come forward again another day, look what happens. This is big news for Istvan, because basically now, if I scan back, the trades, the southeasterly trades, have gone into easterly trade winds, and they've actually come down to meet him. So when he gets this breeze, he'll just be sailing up north, which is really fantastic. So at the moment, he's about 600 miles, I think, behind. Let's see, he's. Okay, so right now he's 660 miles behind Uku. Uku's going to get a couple of days heading north, while Istvan's going to go slow. So he'll be back to about maybe 650, 750, 850, probably be about 850 miles apart. But no problem, because when we come through there, you'll see this easterly breeze is holding for both of them. And so I think Istvan's got a bit of a break here. By then he'll be up a bit. I'll just focus this in a bit. He'll be up a bit and going north. So his horse latitudes have been very kind to him. They'll basically be in there. So what's happening to Uku, if we come down here, you can see the trade winds pretty much stop there at 10 degrees south latitude, and normally they go a lot further north. So the doldrums up here are really well developed. And this is actually on the 28th, so that's 4 days in front, and 4 or 5 days away he'll just be arriving. But if we follow it a little bit further, it starts to close up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's a long way ahead and the forecast can change, but it may be that Uku falls into this hole with the challenges of the doldrums, with Istvan coming boring up, so he'll catch up again. It's what I said a week or so ago. You might see catch up, break away, catch up, break away. So they're both having a bit of fun, but it's pleasant sailing. There's no storms in sight, so they're all pretty cool. So let's go to the main game. This is where it gets very interesting now. We'll just come back here. Okay, so this is what we've got as we speak. These positions are only The positions and the weather is only actually 15 minutes old, so they're real time. If we'll just concentrate on this high that is the main game right now. Mark is making 5.5 knots. He's going due north, have everything up. And I mentioned yesterday about this issue about weather reports. Weather reports are always good to have, but if you're clever and you're following your barometer, Mark can actually ease this his course simply by watching whether his barometer is rising or falling. Obviously, this is the center of the high, so if he goes too far towards the center, he'll see his barometer going up and the wind strength dropping. If he goes too far away from the center, his barometer will be decreasing and the wind will be increasing. So he can actually gauge exactly where the center of high is here as well. If he turns around and faces the breeze and puts his left hand out, he knows exactly where the center is. So he'll know how far up he's got to go. So forecasting is important, but in this instance, most sailors know what's going on. So he can actually start to ease across here, and I think you'll probably see that. He's working out his jibe angles right now, because he's pretty well dead downwind. He'll probably get out here, and then eventually he'll jibe across and jibe down that way as well. But his whole objective is to turn this corner and start chasing Jean-Luc. Jean-Luc right now has the northwesterly wind. He's doing really well, 6.5 knots. He's, if we scale back here now, he's headed straight for the finish over here. And he'll know also that there is this northerly or northwesterly flow happening. Later on it's going to go north. So I would expect to see him hold up on course if he's got reasonable weather forecasts. I'm not sure what he's getting, but get some money in the bank in case it comes in hard, which is going to be, I'll show you in a minute, so he doesn't push down. And that may also play well if we watch now what happens to the center of this high. You can see it's heading out in a north, it's heading out in this direction. So as we go through, if we come up here to, what have we got? That's if we go 24 hours ahead, okay, you'll see Mark will be able to come across a little bit on his course, keeping up with the movement of the center of the high, and then it's still moving up, so he still can't cut across. Now, if we look at distances, because this will give you an idea of where Jean-Luc will be. He's making, let's say, average 6 knots, so about 150 miles ahead. So from where he is now, even though 24 hours later the high's moved, Jean-Luc will be over here somewhere. So he's still got breeze. It hasn't caught up with him yet. Okay, so let's just say work on 150 mile averages. Mark will be, about the same. Let's say if he's over here, it might be 140 miles or something. Mark could be over here, so he's still got a breeze, but he can't turn yet. So we'll get rid of that. We'll go back to the weather, and we'll go another day ahead. All right, so we'll go through to 8 o'clock in the morning. Now you see what's happening here. The high is stretching across. So Mark was going to be up here. Bingo. In 2 days, no matter what he does, no matter where Mark goes, he's now in the same flow. So let's say in 2 days, just to give a position of that, he's going to be, he's going to be, he would have bent the course. So first day he's come up this way a bit, and then he'll come across. So he's probably going to be, let's say, 140. He'll be, say, 280. They'll say, let's say Mark's going to be about here somewhere, okay, in 2 days' time. So he's through the high because it's squashed out this way, okay. So where's Jean-Luc going to be? He'll be 300. He should be 300 miles ahead because he's making good 150 mile days. So he could be. He could be up over here somewhere, so you can see there's quite a big distance. But if we just backtrack a bit and see, there's an issue when it starts to come across the way this trough comes up. I don't think it'll affect Jean-Luc. He may get caught in some light winds and slow down a bit, but by the time we get here, he's going to be quite a way ahead. This is on the 26th, so he's over here somewhere. Now, if we go back to the big picture, you can see. What's happened here? Okay, we're back again, sorry. We've got a problem here with the power. Sorry. Okay, rightio, we're back online. Okay, so we've got the 26th there, and you see this heavy weather coming in from up the top. I'll just focus in so you get to see. And if we come through to the 27th, okay, that was a bit quick. Let's see. Okay, I'll just build this up. This is what's going to dominate everything that's happening, and remembering that you know, Jean-Luc is going to be right up in here by that stage. He's got strong northwesterly winds, and I'll just see, yeah, that's a better picture. Okay, so we'll bring it through here to 8 o'clock in the morning. You can see, I mean, there's big winds here. This is going to be 45 knots, you know, up to 50 knots. This is 60 knots up here in the blue, and gusting higher. And if we look at the sea state, here, big seas. This is forecast 9-metre seas here, and it's all coming down into the bay. So even when Jean-Luc is here, he's going to be getting 7-8-metre seas and building. And remembering, Bay of Biscay is renowned for the shape of the waves. It's not like Southern Ocean stuff. These are a combination of swell but more wind waves, and they're usually closer together, so they're quite dangerous seas. And they're going to be coming you know, on the from a northwesterly direction. Who knows what this may bring, but certainly Jean-Luc, if we accept the fact that that's about 1 day away from where he would be at the finish, if we come back from the finish about 150 miles, you know, Jean-Luc is going to be about in this position here on that day. And I'm not sure what will happen here, because if you wanted to be prudent, you would have to be tempted to slow down and try and let this go through. So Jean-Luc may decide to do that. Mark might be 350 miles behind, which is only a couple of days. Would Jean-Luc sacrifice a day to stay away from some of this weather? Because it moves through pretty quick. If I just get rid of this now. So that's, okay, so that's, oops, I just got to hit that. Okay, so that's at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 27th, basically about 24 hours before. But you watch here, I'm clicking these every 3 hours, there. So by midnight that night, it's dropped back substantially. So if he slowed up, he'd be in this sort of weather here, and it would delay his departure a day. So that means getting in, here's the 20, that's normally when you'd get in. Okay, so 28th, it's all gone. Okay, so by midnight on the 28th, it's all gone back together, you know, and it's all looking pretty good. So this is, what's this? This is 8 o'clock on the night of the 28th, and you can see it's quite reasonable, you know. So we got no idea what's going to happen here. I think if I didn't have Mark Slats bearing down behind me, I would definitely be slowing down, and I would go to miss this and arrive on the 29th, sail through that weather and decrease the risk on the rig, make it a lot more pleasant and so on. But if he's going to do that, if we click it back, he's going to have to make a decision in the next 24 hours or so to see where he wants to be, because this is you know, this is 2 o'clock in the morning on the 27th. That's only, you know, a few days away. So watch this space, and remembering also that this heavy weather wasn't here on yesterday's update, so it's come from nowhere, and it's still time for it to change. It only becomes really accurate when you're 48 hours out. So this could get worse, it could get better. It's a case of watch this space and see how it goes. But by the look of it, when just to reflect back to Mark now, by the time Mark gets across, he's going to be it'll be a day and a half before he starts heading for home, and by then I think he'll be 350 miles or more behind Jean-Luc. And right now, as of today, Jean-Luc is basically 550 miles from the finish, so he's going to be over half the distance again. So let's wait and see what happens. All very interesting indeed. If you're thinking of coming to Les Sables d'Olonne to the finish and you want to book a ferry, there is one passenger ferry. You need to make your bookings. We'll put a post up later on this morning about how you make those bookings. The boat's coming up from La Rochelle. We're hoping to fill it. If it doesn't get filled, it might not come at all. So get your bookings in if you're interested in being there to see Mark and Jean-Luc come in. Thanks a lot, and we'll update as things happen. See you later.